Welcome back to Heather's greenhouse. Happy spring. So we're going to just kind of go around and look at what's going on now that it's spring. So one of the things I want to show off is the loropetalum is getting ready to flower. See those right there? Now I think a loropetalum is just a interesting bush anyway because of the color of the leaves when they come out. But those flowers are just amazing, and it is absolutely gorgeous when that entire hedge is in full flower. And you can see the porch pond is going away. It was great for what it was used for. It gave me a lot of good, basically compost tea for watering with. I also used it to root some things, but now that it's spring, with the sun it would just become an algae green mess. So I just went ahead and started taking it apart, and it's just sitting there to be put away. Over here where this ficus tree died, I did put a few sweet pea seeds in the base. We'll see if the sweet peas germinate and grow up that. I think it would be beautiful if it would, but I hadn't had any germination yet, so we'll have to wait and see. And then it is dry here. We have a major drought in the Carolinas, and you can see I need to come out here and water. Now I thought about, watering before I did this video, but I'm like, no, I like to show you the good and the bad of gardening. So one of the things you can see here is that things are starting to come back out after the deer came in and ate everything. So deer are prey animals, and they don't like change. Any little thing can spook them. And we had to move the camper to the front from the side of the house because we're going to have a pool put in, and we'll talk about that when we get to the backyard. But just having that camper in a different location has been enough to scare the deer. They have not jumped the wall to come into the courtyard to eat anything. Honestly, I live out in the middle of the country. I don't have an HOA. Like, I don't know, maybe I just leave the camper there so I don't have to worry about the deer. Hey, Chrissy Ann. Chrissy. Chrissy's ignoring me, but Bullet's like, hey, Mom. He's like, you got treats or love? I don't have any treats, but I can give you some loving, Mr. Handsome. So this pot, I think I talked about it last year. It was a beverage tub from Walmart that was on sale. And I just put some drainage holes in it, some compost, some dirt, and several different seeds. And you can see it's absolutely gorgeous right now. And there are 2 volunteer tomato starts. I'm pretty sure these tomatoes are a yellow pear small tomato. So I'm excited about that, and I'll move them probably to the back or somewhere else. Once they get big enough, I need to stake them. But I'm an advocate of leaving something where it's at for as long as possible. Those daffodils are done. But what I want to show you over here is I have a volunteer. Now I'm not sure what this is, but it volunteered there and it's happy. I'm going to leave it. I've got another volunteer here. Isn't that pansy just sweet? So a lot of times if I have a volunteer somewhere that I want to move it, I'll just dig it up and move it and replant it. But if a volunteer's in an area that I don't mind, I just leave it where it's at because it's happy. And that's what I'm going to do with those 2. I'm just going to leave them where they're at because they're happy. That beautyberry is just now starting to leaf out. Now I do have irrigation throughout the courtyard, but I have not started my irrigation yet. Probably need to, but I try to delay as long as I can, because I really do want anything in the ground to send the roots out and look for its own water. This is that Sarah Barnhart peony. It is looking fabulous. I need to get out here and weed around it again, but it is healthy and thriving, and I'm excited. I've never had a peony bloom, and I'll show you in the backyard. The other peony in the backyard is getting ready to bloom, and I'm so excited. And of course, it's now just early spring, so the hibiscus aren't doing anything yet, but they will. All right, let's go look at some other stuff. Again, I need to water. I apologize that I didn't do that before the video. It's middle of the week. It's a work week. I'm doing this during lunch. So if I get this done and I have time, I'll probably water before I go back to work. That particular pot, the deer ate a good amount of them. I put, maybe you can see that, the garlic. I put garlic cloves in there. Now that's garlic, and those heads are tiny, because that's garlic that I grew in my garden last year. And you can see this one isn't even rooted or in the ground, but it is rooting. Probably need to maybe move that and put it somewhere else, but I'm gonna leave it there for now because the deer aren't eating them. And unfortunately, spring equals bugs. So hopefully you can see all the bugs on that. Bugs are everywhere, and I'm organic in my gardening. I tend to not spray. I tend to just let the plants be okay. And I don't lose a lot of plants to bugs, but oh my goodness, I see that I've got some challenges here. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I need to investigate that. That might just purely be a water issue, because that is looking bad. That is the angel trumpet vine, and you'll remember it grew up as tall as the garage last year, all on its own. So I'm excited to see how it does this year. This is the beautyberry that the deer ate down to the top of the wall last year. It has totally rebounded. Look how tall it is and how full it is of new leaves. Really excited about it this year. And yeah, maybe we got a little bit of deer damage this year. Can probably go in there and clean it up a little bit, but don't have time for that right now. All right. I'm gonna go this way, then we're gonna go around the other way. So this is that bed that I have struggled with. We have really bad water erosion. I don't know if you can tell, but right there where the driveway is, there's rocks trying to slow the water flow down, because everything from the road flows down the hill, right there, across the drive to right there, down the grass area and across this bed, and it just washes all the topsoil away. So I've really worked on this bed with establishing some topsoil and putting in things to help with the erosion. But the daffodils are still pretty, but they're at the end of their life cycle. And that's one thing I do want to mention. I absolutely love daffodils. So when I buy daffodil bulbs, I try to get early, mid, and late bloomers, so that I probably had a good 8 weeks of daffodil blooms. Bullet, are you eating my weeds? Because I hadn't got in there and weeded. Are you helping me out? Well, thank you, buddy. So let's talk about the azaleas without trying to step on anything. Goodness. So that is an encore azalea. Y'all, it is on the struggle bus, as Jeannie at Gardening with Creekside says. So I did not buy and plant that encore azalea. The previous owner did 20 years ago. There's actually 3 of them. One beside Bullet's completely dead. You can't even see it. And then there's one down here. I don't know if you can see. It's got a couple of blooms on it. But I'm sure when the previous owner who built the house planted those encore azaleas, that rose bush was not as big as it is now. Look at that rose bush. It is massive. And encore azaleas, I have learned, unlike our native azaleas, they want more sun. So I'm either going to need to get in there and do a serious prune on that rose bush, which is pretty aggressive. I'm thinking it'll just come back. Or I'm going to need to move those encore azaleas and put them somewhere that they get more sun, which is what I think I'm going to do. But I'm not going to do that today. All right, let's head back this way. So I do want to show off my neighbor's snowball viburnum. That is absolutely gorgeous. There is a viburnum there that is at the end of flowering. And then we've got the hill here. So over here, there's a hill between us and the neighbors. Our property actually is at the top of the hill, but you can't really do anything with that hill, so it's just mulched. Well, I needed to move a lot of stuff because we're going to have a pool put in. So this is where I had the landscape company move them to. So we have a azalea there. And y'all, this azalea has been absolutely butchered for them to be able to move it. But I think it's going to live. I'm going to leave it and I'm going to give it its best shot. And then I'll worry about shaping it later. Because again, it's on the hill between us and the neighbors. Nobody really sees it. There's a whole bunch of irises. And you can see the deer came through and ate the tops off already. Then you've got a hydrangea and another hydrangea. And they are looking good. They're putting out leaves, so I'm excited about that. This right here, that is a Nancy Reagan rose bush. So that thing I'm expecting over time will be absolutely beautiful and really grow big. I don't know that it should have been planted this close to the lawn. It probably should have been higher up on the hill like the hydrangeas are. But I'm not going to dig it up and move it at this point. And back here, those sticks are what's left of a hardy hibiscus. Now, if you know anything about hardy hibiscus in Zone 8, the Midlands of South Carolina, they die all the way to the ground, and then they put out new shoots from the ground. So I'm leaving that more just so I know where it's at. I could cut all those off, but I just want to know where it's at. Once the new growth starts happening, I'll definitely cut off the old growth. And then we've got more irises. We've got our shed. That is a pot that I have struggled finding anything that I can put in there that actually likes it there. I did put a couple of irises in there, and then it's got weeds. And y'all, I'm sorry about the sun. Again, I work a full-time job. I video when I have time to do it. And so I know the sun came back out. When I started, it was cloudy and overcast. I was hoping and praying for rain. Again, we really need it. We're in a serious drought. You can see with this plant right here, I mean, it's just suffering. It needs water so bad. Let me show off this pot. Look at that. It is full of bulbs. Again, at the end of the year, I get clearance bulb sacks that are random bulbs. I don't know what they are. And for this particular one, I just threw them a mix of bulbs into this pot. Gave it some good soil, a little bit of compost, and it is loving life. And y'all, look at the tulip. You can't tell me that that combination doesn't say spring, because I think it does. Okay, then let's see what else we have. Oh, this little black pot. My neighbor loves a lilac tree that I have. And the lilac tree is struggling. It's 20 years old. It's probably end of life. And so I tried to dig up a sapling, a sprout, and put it in a pot and root it for her. And I'm just going to let her have it if I can get it to root. But man, it's looking bad. Again, I need to get out here and water. And let's talk about the bugs again. Oh my goodness, look at that. Those are all aphids. That is absolutely covered. I apologize, the phone keeps overheating. But I wanted to show you this area. So there is a tree there. So this is extremely dry shade. And I can't really get anything to grow in here except moss, ferns, and that bleeding heart. I mean, look at that thing. That is beautiful and so exciting. I bought that from a bare root. Gosh, probably 2 seasons ago, and it is really getting established and doing good. And then over here I've got the ferns. Now these are a lot of ferns that were found in the woods and dug up and brought over here, so I don't know what they are, but I love ferns regardless, so they get space in the yard. Then you can see around the outside, out from where the tree limbs are, I planted daffodils, and the landscape company came through and weeded them for me. So, I don't know, they keep getting weeded and don't have a chance to get sun. They're not going to make it. Thinking about maybe digging them up and moving them somewhere else, because if I leave them here, I know they're just going to die. And this is the lilac I was telling you about. The lilac tree on the side of the house. It's 20 years old. Does not look good. You can see a major branch just died off right here. So I'm going to keep it as long as I can, because my neighbor absolutely loves it. And again, I'm going to see if one of those little sprouts I dug up I can root and give it to her. I'm trying, but we'll see. Hey, Raleigh boy. Raleigh, can you look at Mama? Oh, he hears the other doggy. Come on, Bubs. Alright, well, y'all, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to finish a full spring tour today. Next time I'll try to pick up and show some things that I didn't show yet. But I have got to do some watering. And I've got to get back to work. So, until next time, happy gardening.